I made less at that job than I made working as a cashier. I wanted to go back for my master's every single day when I wake up. Honestly, you need to speak up for yourself as a travel nurse, because the piercing that I had gotten, 6 weeks, I'm gonna be done with. Clean up a little bit. I'm gonna move all this stuff out. I finished my homework. I was finishing my essay and I pretty much done. I was looking for a place for me and Alex to go on Sunday, but I need to clean this bed. And I don't know how I feel about moving this to here. My only issue is obviously I can only use one chair. So I could just move this in here and it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Yeah. I just like it because it's really convenient for me to be able to like study whenever I actually want to study. But obviously when I have people over, it's just kind of odd, especially because I have no dining table. I was gonna do my video in this robe because looking back at my video 2 years ago, I had done it in a robe and I wanted it to seem like full circle, but I need to put on makeup. I'm gonna be going out later. It's like 55, 60 degrees. Like the beanie, yes or no? Maybe not. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jasmine and I make lifestyle videos, vlogs, all that jazz. I'm currently on a travel assignment here in San Diego, California, and this is my first ever travel assignment in the COVID operations. So it's been super exciting, super chill. I previously did the ER for 2 years now. Sort of like a life update, chit chat with me. I was gonna get some. So I was drinking the rest of my tea earlier, just sitting on my balcony. Follow me on TikTok if you haven't already followed me on there. I've actually been posting quite a bit because I do like posting the snippets here and there. It's been incredible here in San Diego so far. I think the very first vlog I posted was just me still in shock the fact that I was here. I think a lot of people don't realize when you do travel nursing, when you come into a new city and you don't really know anybody, you're essentially by yourself. And I think coming from a place where I was living in the dorms and I had Alex living at home and I still had like my parents and family, to moving here to finally being on my own was a big shock to me. And at first it was like a little bit lonely and kind of sad. But I think coming back and having 6 weeks later into this assignment, I feel so much happier here, and it's kind of bittersweet to think that in less than 6 weeks I'm gonna be done with this assignment. So my last day is December 4th. So I still have quite a bit to go, so I don't have to sweat it too much, but I'm really enjoying my time here. I feel like I've gained such a big sense of independence, and I 10 out of 10 recommend that anyone who wants to get that adventurous bug out of your system to try travel nursing. Although I won't be doing another assignment for a little while, I still do have my per diem job. Sorry, hold on. My Amazon package just came in the mail. Oh, it said it's gonna come at 4:30. Yeah, man, like I totally done like such spontaneous things. Like look at this freaking piercing that I had gotten yesterday spontaneously with my friends. I think when you do travel nursing, you meet so many like-minded people who are down to do just about like everything and anything, and it's so cool because I feel like especially in my hometown, it's just such a comfortable suburban place. People like to stick to what's comfortable, and being out here, people are really willing to like be adventurous, take a risk, and I love that. But going back to my per diem job, yes, I am still per diem in the ER, although I do COVID operations here. The ER is really all I know. Look at these cute coasters. They're so cute, and you just lay them like. So my commitment to my per diem job is not too crazy. I remember I talked to some people out of state, and they were like blown away by the amount of requirement, because they were like, their requirements at their state. Let me tell you mine first. So my requirement is every 3 months I need to work 8 shifts. They can be back to back. They don't have to be like week by week. But for some people, they only need to work like, I think like 3 shifts every 6 months. And I was like, whoa, what the heck? Because I thought my commitment was low, because I know some people, their per diem requirement, I know that at my first hospital I went to, the per diem requirement was once a week. I have not worked in the ER since last month, and I only did like a half shift in the ER. I will say that acute care settings will always, for the most part, have fairly high rates for new nurses, and the demand for acute care setting will always be there. So of course that's why I did this travel assignment, because it's in an ambulatory setting. It's a very easy job, and it's just a really cool experience to get to try travel nursing, because I don't know if I ever tell people my age, but it is in the description. I'm 24 years old, and being in your 20s in a suburban, very like stagnant place makes you, I don't know, it makes you feel very at a standstill. And being in the city, let me like literally show you what I'm looking at right now, because this is what I look like, what I look at every single day when I wake up. And being in the city, it's obviously can be a little bit sketchy sometimes, and sometimes you're like pushed out of your comfort zone, but I feel like it's such a good place to grow and be independent. Eventually want to, you know, go full-time, have a regular staff job eventually. I feel that being in this place and getting to travel and still keeping my per diem job is just the best way for me to grow as an individual currently. I'm gonna make another video talking about how journey in 2 years of nursing. I was supposed to make this video but we're gonna do a life update first, because I honest to God have not updated you all. So I feel like I've just been vlogging my last few months, years of my life, and I haven't really sat down and talked to you all. I used to do these life updates all the time when I was in nursing school, whenever I was a very new nurse, and I just feel like I haven't in so long, but here I am. So yeah, I initially was living out closer to the border of San Diego, but I moved more downtown, and this is really where I wanted to be, and I'm actually so happy here. I think one of the difficult things is obviously parking, so whenever people visit me, it's very difficult for them to find parking, to find a place, but my complex has an assigned parking for me, so it's very easy for me to find parking whenever I get home. It is a little bit sketchy sometimes, because I feel like I can't really, there is a security guard out there, but when you think like, okay, why do they have a security guard out there? That's how you know it's not always like super safe to be out there by yourself, especially me being like a 5'2" little girl. And that's also why I bought my pepper spray over there. I initially had went per diem, and it was okay. It was honestly not bad. I really genuinely don't hate where I'm at. I don't know if you ever watched my like new grad video about how, like, I think I labeled it "It's Been Hard" or something like that, and it was so dramatic, but not really at the same time, because every freaking day I would have anxiety about work, about going into work. The idea of going to work the next day, I didn't even get a chance to really enjoy my day off. It would like stress me out so much, and I feel like ever since I left that job, it's been a little bit better. I know that when I first transitioned into my new job, I had a lot of anxiety because the stakes were a lot higher, because it's a bigger company and they audit a lot more and put more an emphasis on charting as opposed to the patient care, which is very difficult for me to wrap my head around, because at my first job, it was a community hospital, and our goal is just to keep the patient alive and get them to where they need to be. But here it's a magnet hospital that I work at, and the ER is a stroke receiving center and all that good jazz. And although it's a good learning experience, the learning curve was kind of high in terms of our expectations. So yeah, I worked per diem. So I transitioned from October 2020. I had gotten the job, and then I think, yeah, October 2020 is when or December 2020. I can't remember. I remember I had interviewed closer to October, and then December I had really started working at my job. And then I worked full-time there until May of 2021. And then May of 2021, I took a per diem position. So I was actually only temporary there from December to May, and that's how I got into this bigger corporate, higher paying staff position, as opposed to the community hospital that I was working at. I will talk about rates and all of that good jazz in my next video, because I want to be more transparent with new grad rates so that people who are applying to these new grad programs don't get lowballed. Because I think when I was starting, I had no idea what the rate I should be looking for was. And obviously it's probably changed, but I do want to talk about that, and that's gonna be my other video. But yeah, so I was per diem until now, but I was actually working close to part-time, full-time hours at my per diem job, because obviously it was my only job, until September. So our per diem is goes in quarters. So I had actually finished my per diem requirement back in August. So that's why I started this position. And then I need to just fulfill my quarter from September to December. This assignment ends in December. I just need to work my 8 shifts in December for my ER job, if that makes any sense. I did want to answer the questions that a lot of people had asked me on Instagram, because I didn't actually answer all of them. I'm gonna be flat out honest with you and tell you that my YouTube family is always my YouTube family, and I tell you a lot more than what I do on my Instagram. Review on here and on YouTube are so much more genuine. We just vibe more here on the YouTube channel, okay? Care asks, what type of nursing are you working in now? So currently I'm working as COVID operations nurse, which is essentially all things COVID. We vaccinate, triage nurse who observes 15-20 minutes afterwards, ourselves dilute the Pfizer. If you don't know, you have to dilute 1.8 normal saline with the Pfizer vial, and getting the exact 0.3 is really, really important to make sure that we get the right amount of dosage within the vials. And then they also taught us how to register patients, which I personally don't love doing. I will do it because it's the kindness of my heart, but it is not within my contract. So that's something as a travel nurse that you should consider. If it's not in your contract, bring it up to a recruiter, because yeah, it's okay for me to do it because technically it's legal, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm hired here to do, and I don't like doing it. So although I'll do it sometimes, I'm not going to do it every single shift. Honestly, you need to speak up for yourself as a travel nurse, because they'll stick you wherever. So yeah, I'm doing travel nursing, I'm doing COVID operations, but in December I will be going back to my hometown, and that's where I'm going to be doing my ER nursing for a month. Rajvindir Singh says, how are you? I'm doing good. I feel like mentally I'm in a better place than I was in October of 2019, maybe even October of 2020. I think being here, and as I said, I've gained a better sense of independence, and I'm a lot happier as opposed to being so stagnant at home. My favorite EDM artist, Nicole, asked, you guys know my favorite EDM artist is always going to be Millennium. I was this close to getting a tattoo of a phoenix. I just don't know what phoenix I want. Initially I was like, oh, maybe I'll get the Elenium phoenix because it's very easy, but I don't know if I want an artist's like icon to be on me for the rest of my life. I love Elenium. I'm gonna be seeing him in San Diego actually 2 weeks from now. So are you going to EDC? No, I am not going to EDC, although I really would love to go to EDC. I'm kind of sad that I'm not, especially because Elenium said that he might be going on Friday and I'm working on Friday. But it's okay, it's totally fine. Jenny asked, how is being a travel nurse going so far? It's such a big learning experience, from being on your own, figuring out all these paperwork, documents, being thrown into a new environment. So different, but I feel like if you're willing to learn, you're willing to be flexible and grow, it's a really great experience. Jazzy Tovar asked, are you going back to school? So here's the thing that I have not talked about. To be honest with you and tell you, I wasn't sure what I wanted to go back to school for. I've always known that I wanted to go back for my master's, and initially I had thought I had wanted to go into education. So I was going to try and pursue my master's in education because I really like the idea of shaping our nurses of the future. I think the whole pandemic and the idea of online learning and seeing the gap in learning because of where we are in the pandemic, it's been really difficult for a lot of new grads. So that's what inspired me to do education. But really where my passion actually lies is in psychiatric mental health, which, for those of you who have been following me for quite a long time, I was actually a patient care tech in a psychiatric unit before I was a nurse. And I genuinely loved that job. They just lowballed the hell out of me. I will flat out tell you, I made less at that job than I made working as a cashier at Disneyland. So if that doesn't tell you something, and this was prior to the $15 minimum. So that was quite sad. You meet so many cool people, so I can't even complain. Wow, this is a really long video. I am so sorry. I just like have so much to catch you up on, and it's actually just like really exciting transitions going on right now, and I hope that this inspires anyone else who feels so stagnant in their life to make that leap of faith and to make that change to their life. Because yeah, I don't show the shitty parts sometimes of my life, and all the time it looks probably so convincing on tape that everything falls into place for me, but you have to go through a lot of shit to really get to where you want to be. I don't know why people keep emailing me. Jermaine asks, any advice / tips for LVN students who want to become RNs in the future? So a lot of my friends are actually LVNs here who are traveling. So first of all, I 10 out of 10 recommend anyone who's an LVN. You guys are making so much bank here. 10 out of 10, you need to take this travel assignment when it's still available, because these vaccinations, these swabbing centers, they're not going to stay here forever, and my friends are making pretty close to the amount that I'm making. But for people who want to become RNs in the future, there are a lot of LVNs to RN programs. Yeah, there are a lot of LVNs to RN programs. They're a lot cheaper out of state, specifically in places like Chicago. My friend was saying that it's so much easier to get into nursing school there, but it's just harder to find a job there. So there's also that. Also, the program that I went to also has an LVN to RN program. You have to think of it as this. It's either your time or it's your money. What do you care more about? Are you willing to pay the money now so that you get to your goal faster? Or are you willing to wait it out, save some money, and then pursue what you want to do? It's really up to you. Personally, that's why I kind of like knew what I wanted at that point, and I just like took a leap of faith and did it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the questions. A lot of them overlapped. If I didn't answer one of your questions, I recommend shooting them down in the comments, because that's usually where I see it. I am really bad at answering my Instagram, so you're more likely to get a response if you just comment down below. But I will be filming my video regarding my nursing journey and 2-year journey as a video next. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, following me on this really long journey. I'm so excited to continue to just share all of this with you, because I wish that someone had showed me this 2 years ago when I was so freaking miserable in my job. But hopefully this inspires you to take that leap of faith. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Jazz the Nurse, and I will see you guys in the next video.